Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris Fort Smith.
Malik, he was in a boot today. His foot for the last 2 weeks has been bothering him. So you got guys that are like, well, I'm going to take the next. I'm done. I mean, that's not those two, but now part of that evaluation of those two, that plays a part. Like, who do you want? You want a guy that plays through pain and doing what he has to for the team to win? And both of those two, they're helping themselves, obviously helping the team. And I'm even telling a couple guys, if they're willing and Darius is willing, come on, man, you got to step on the gas. You got to sprint the court. You got to go after balls. You got to hit first. You got to go block some shots. You got to make a dunk. If this kid is willing to do this for the team, we need to have everybody.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little.
You might as well pop the $30 a month for LinkedIn Gold.
With Ty Richardson.
As we've seen in our Razorback fandom, where players' dreams go to die.
This is the Morning Rush.
Those cuts you pull for the shows each day, always entertaining. So you were telling me yesterday LinkedIn Gold.
LinkedIn Gold, Ty.
Was
that's
what
the move. Yeah.
Is
so
what?
If you are in search of a job, LinkedIn Gold is a good $30 a month investment. I think you get the first month free most of the time, but it really shows you where you stack up with everybody else that's applying for the same job that you are. It gives you access to really just some better features on that app. I used it when I was searching for a job, and then you found me outside, Ty, groveling in the bushes, just trying to, get on the air for a few seconds, and I'm still here 2 years later.
Well, that's what happens sometime in radio. You beg, you plead, you grovel.
Blackmail,
blackmail, and sometimes you make your way on. Tommy's in Washington, D.C. today, taking care of some business with the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, doing various big dog things. So it's going to be myself and Colton, just a setup for the next couple days.
Tommy's doing the white-collar jobs, and we're here doing the blue-collar stuff, Time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of blue-collar workers that are shaking their heads, calling us, saying radio is a blue-collar job. So the setup for the next couple days is a little wonky. This happened this week where Tommy was in D.C. happened to coincide where I have had this trip on Florida for the books for a while. So the next 2 days on What's Your Beef Wednesday and what's Thursday
Think
called?
Tank Thursday.
Think Tank Thursday will be Colton Little and Zach Arns with you.
Zach's getting paid to babysit.
Yes. So that was not planned. That's just how it shook out. Tommy's going to be back on Friday, but just a setup for the schedule. As far as the schedule goes for Arkansas this week, you got baseball today at 3 o'clock against Oral Roberts, tomorrow against the Texas Longhorns on senior night, and then this Saturday in Columbia, Missouri, and then Stetson for baseball this weekend. We are actually, and speaking of the days to come, we have changed Talk of the Town Tuesday to Time Travel Tuesday. You ask why? Well, here's why. In the midst of us going through and throwing away junk and getting rid of a storage closet, I guess more of a storage facility, a shed outside of
facility sounds better.
Our radio station, we found
unearthed
a number of different old Morning Rush clips.
About 50 discs.
Yes. And Colton did a good job cataloging them by date and day. The only unfortunate thing is Tommy's not here to react to the first edition of Time Travel Tuesday that we'll get into coming up. We're also getting to get to our Pradco Pyramid Power with Bruce Stanton, who's going to join us shortly via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And we'll talk some basketball, baseball, this Cardinals deal that's going on for $29, which is pretty great. The NCAA tournament memo that was sent out yesterday. I was reading Matt Norlander and some stuff around that and more as we get it going this morning. By the way, you're welcome to text us or call us 877-377-6963. I thought about mailing it in today since it's my last day of work, but I actually decided to put in some effort. So hopefully it will showcase itself throughout the morning. Hey, the Inn at the Mill is a great place to stay in Northwest Arkansas. It's where I stayed last Thursday, had myself quite a sleep. I went to bed at 7:30, fell asleep by 8. It was phenomenal. I love going to bed early now as a guy that's surpassed his 30s. It's great. 479-443-1800. You can go to inatthemill.com. That's inatthemill.com. Their homemade cookies are worth the trip in itself. Plus, they have great breakfast, which I took advantage of. It's right off the Johnston exit off I-49, and it's convenient. Again, whether it's Razorback baseball games, upcoming softball series, the AMP concerts, whatever you're trying to experience in Northwest Arkansas, maybe just a staycation, the Inn at the Mill is the place to stay. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. So, listening to Cal last night on the final edition of Live with Coach Cal, he talked about this team being built for March.
So I don't know. But here's what I do know. This team is prepared for March, and they're built for March.
And I was thinking about that this morning and the setup for Arkansas. What's going to happen 2 weeks from Thursday or 2 weeks from Friday, depending on when the Razorbacks play their first round game. Watched a lot of, like last year's Walter Clayton Jr., outstanding guard for Florida, MVP, stud. Your guard, though, again, can only carry you so far. You heard Cal at the beginning. It's like Malik's dealing with something. Darius has been dealing with something. Can you get that same effort from some of the other guys? I insinuated yesterday that maybe Nick Pringle is doing something with his back. That hasn't been talked about, but if you just watch when he goes to the bench and he puts whatever that thing is on, I think it's at least okay to speculate that he's dealing with something. And again, on March the 3rd, a lot of guys are dealing with nicks, bruises, dings. It's just part of playing college basketball at this juncture of the season. But can you get that extra effort? You need this win tomorrow night against the Texas team is probably going to the NCAA tournament, but they need a boost to their resume. And what an opportunity for them tomorrow night against their rival, the Arkansas Razorbacks. So are you limping to the finish line? Are you sprinting to the finish line? I mean, these are injuries that have piled up. We know Carter's going to be out for the foreseeable future. Don't know what his timeline looks like. I know that Tennessee's kind of dealing with the same thing that Nate Ament, and we don't know when he's come back. He's not playing tonight. Forget who they're playing tonight, but he's not playing tonight. So this is how coaches just have to deal with this at this point of the season. And Cal's really got 7 guys they can trust, 8, I guess, to a certain extent with Isaiah Sealy. And it's going to be tested once again against the Longhorns tomorrow night.
It really makes you wonder what the outcome would have been the last 2 years if you'd have had a fully healthy roster the past 2 years throughout the season, because this is twice now that we've seen it in Coach Calipari's 2-year tenure here, in which, one of your key players goes down in the latter part of the season, and you really could have used those minutes. But I think that you're right, Ty. This really goes back to the old adage of there is no I in team. And yes, there are some great I's in Darius and Malik, these guys that are able to go out there and be Superman for you, can really carry you through games, and maybe through a first-round game against a weaker team, maybe one of those schools outside of the Power 5, a mid-major school, maybe Darius is really all you need. But when you get into the nitty-gritty and you get into the games with names, Sweet 16, Elite 8, you have to have a full team. It's racking my brain here, Ty. I can't think of one of the last times where a team had just one singular great player and they won the entire thing. It typically takes a good player or a great player with a strong cast around them, and that's what we've seen here at Arkansas be the most successful teams for us as well. It wasn't just one individual. It was Corliss and Scotty and everybody else that was on that team, and Todd Day and Lee Merriweather in those first Final Fours there with Nolan. So it was a bunch of guys all together, not just one individual. So you're right. You need to see more from especially the guys in their front court, like you mentioned, Malik, TB, and Nick Pringle.
All right, more basketball discussion. We'll talk with Bruce Stanton about what could happen with the NCAA stuff coming up, because I think that's intriguing. Like I said, Time Travel Tuesday, we're about to take a trip back into the past in March of 2008. So I'm sure that this will be entertaining. I've already listened to these clips. Colton did a good job of putting it together, so we'll go back to that in just a sec. Before we get into our opening drive, got to tell you about our friends at APAC and Standard Materials Group, #1 source for top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. You could be working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job. They've got you covered. Call them at 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. APAC and Standard Materials Group.
My point is, I think the beauty of the tournament, one of the great things is these automatic bids that go out. but I think you've reached a point now because of the parity in college basketball. Let's just expand it by one more weekend. When they developed the format of 64, there were not nearly as many Division I basketball teams. Or add more play-in games.
I'm not opposed to that.
Put the 15 and 16 seeds as play-in games. When they introduced the starting lineups all year long, without question, the loudest applause has been for John Pelfrey. So this fan base clearly behind him.
This is the opening drive.
Definitely an old cut.
Oh, man. So, again, back in 2008, where Arkansas, at this point, let's see, if it's the fourth you were going to Ole Miss, you lost by 9 tomorrow to Ole Miss before you wrapped up your season with the 77-64 win against Auburn. Any idea who they played in the NCAA tournament that year?
Shot in the dark. I'm going to say Mississippi State.
Indiana, who they beat.
Oh, NCAA tournament. I wasn't listening.
That team had
Indiana,
DJ White and Eric Gordon, and then they got massacred by North Carolina, Tyler Hansbrough, 108-77. But, time's almost a flat circle.
Yes.
Because Charlie Baker has talked about NCAA tournament expansion, read an excerpt from Chris Lowe, now On 3, longtime ESPNer, talking with Josh Heupel, who is in favor of the 24-team college football playoff. So, still a thing. Now in 2026, almost 20 years later. The John Pelfrey thing is kind of funny, though. Tommy's told the story before. We're in the midst of, I think this was Dylan's birth, that the John Pelfrey show was on the TV, and he stopped the birth just to turn the television off or turn it to something else, which is always entertaining. But that's where your basketball program was, and now it's in a much different position here in 2026. Thank goodness gracious. I don't know if I could stomach a bad football and basketball program in the same year. But the expansion thing is just wild, because I listened to the clips yesterday. It's like we're almost having the same discussion nearly 20 years later.
And so this was obviously before they added they expanded the field to 68 and gave those teams those extra play-in games as well. Yep. So that's really interesting. But what Tommy was getting at when he was talking to Josh right there back in the day was that Tommy was probably in favor of expanding it even more to outwards of 128. I mean, they were doing the math right there, and that's the next number. Now, that's outrageous. That is insane, and that gives you basically 1/3 of the entire NCAA that makes the NCAA tournament. That's way too much. I think that it's 68 right now, what they have, is a really good number. It gives you those extra nights of TV before the actual tournament starts to get those play-in games going. I don't think expansion for the NCAA tournament is something that they need to really look at right now. It's one of the most perfect ways to find a champion in all of sports, not just college sports, but sports is one of the best ways to do it. It gives you the most amount of drama. But the expansion now, it would just be too much of a headache to fit all those games in on all these different channels. And I understand that what Tommy was talking about right there.
What other obscure channel do we have to add outside of
put it on a
True
History
TV
channel or something?
Yeah,
but, I think that Tommy's
CW.
That's a good one. But have Brenneman called the game. But I do think that Tommy talking about the automatic qualifiers, that is one of the big topics of the conversation right now about the NCAA expansion tie, is that people want to get rid of the qualifiers for winning your conference tournament. That to me is one step too far.
Yeah, the discussion about Miami of Ohio has been not just Bruce Pearl's comments, but other college basketball panelists and experts, that a team that's, unless they didn't lose last night, did they? They didn't play on Monday.
But I did see that Miami of Ohio's AD responded to Bruce Pearl, and his entire message was acting like he was sending a text to him privately. Lots of text speak in there, which is very funny to see from an athletic director.
From an athletic, and he's defending his head coach, and he's defending his program that he resides over. So I don't blame him one bit for doing that. You bring up the NCAA tournament, and we can talk with our buddy Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing about this a little bit before the Pradco Pyramid of Power, which I'm really curious. I know Florida's going to be on top, but did Arkansas drop to 3 after getting demolished in Gainesville? Going to find out his perspective in just a sec. So this is from, I saw this, the NCAA sent out a memo to schools that potential logistical issues are going to happen this month with airline travel with Selection Sunday. They try and get teams moving within 12 to 72 hours because of potential government shutdown. I don't know if the stuff in Mexico has anything to do with this, but what that means, at least my thought immediately went, okay, are they going to try and bus teams to close locations if they can. For example, would Arkansas go to Oklahoma City or St. Louis? Would Tennessee, as we bring in our buddy Bruce in, be bused to like Greenville? Like somewhere close, somewhere within driving distance, I would think. I didn't look up the approximate miles from Knoxville to Greenville, Bruce, but I did. Oklahoma City's 237 miles away from campus from Fayetteville. St. Louis is 363, which is the NCAA stuff. Could you see that happening where they try and keep teams more regionally based on the potential issues when it comes to flight and travel in March?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these teams probably use private transportation anyway, so I don't know how much that's going to impact who goes where. I mean, you always hope if you're a fan that you can drive to see your team play, obviously, but I don't have any inside knowledge on if that's going to play a part in it. But I know the big schools have their own transportation. It probably doesn't matter much.
Arkansas lately, I don't know where Tennessee's played lately, Bruce. The closest place they played lately is Des Moines, Iowa. It's about 429 miles from Fayetteville. Indy was not too far, 604. Vegas was over 1,300. Buffalo was nearly 1,000. Providence was over 1,500. San Francisco over 1,800. They've just had a lot of places to travel. So we'll see if they can get lucky and play somewhere regionally close like St. Louis and Oklahoma City this go around, depending on how things shake out these next 2 weeks. All right. I know where Florida's going to wind up, but I don't know where the other teams. You ready to tell us what the Pradco Pyramid of Power looks like, Bruce?
Man, we're going to go for it. Let's go.
All right, let's get into it.
LearnNet.com, LearnNet.com, LearnNet.com. There you
Chrome
go.
blackback, Chrome blackback, Chrome blackback.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Tommy is in Washington, D.C. I don't know if he told you about that, but he's taking care of some big-time business. So you're on your own this week, so there's a lot of pressure.
It's a definitive list.
It's a definitive list. And maybe there's not much pushback that like you sometimes get. So, Bruce, I think I know who's number one.
I know. Well, I did hear the FCC called him on the carpet, so I guess we'll see what happens. They had a long list of things that he shouldn't have been saying on the air.
Well,
so
that's a lot of fines coming our way. I guess they're going to get taken out of my bonus.
Oh, man. Well, obviously the Florida Gators, that front line of Kenyalou, Houck, and Condon was just too much for Arkansas to do anything with. They're the SEC champs. They're number one in the Pyramid of Power, and they're probably not going anywhere from that position. So Florida Gators number one.
No disagreement.
We'll go number two. As much as I hate to say it, the Alabama Crimson Tide has won 8 in a row. They're 12-4 in the league. They eked out a win at Thompson Bowling. I think they scored 77 points, but Tennessee's late game execution and Nate Ament being hurt in the whole game really didn't help things. But bottom line, they won. So they're number two in the Pyramid of Power.
Who winds up at number 3, Bruce Dan?
Well, I think just on record, if you take away what we saw in Gainesville, Arkansas is 11-5. They've had a really good season. They've got a really small rotation, and Saturday was really bad. So I think all Arkansas fans are ready to see the next couple of games and get that bad Florida taste out of their mouth. But on the season as a whole, Arkansas is still third in the Pyramid of Power.
All right, who's behind him at number 4?
We'll go, again, as much as I hate to say this, we'll go Kentucky Wildcats. They've had an up-and-down season. I'd say mostly up. They got a revenge win against Vanderbilt. They were embarrassed when they went to Vanderbilt, but they took care of business at Rupp and had a big win Saturday. So, we got to give credit where credit's due. 10-6, Kentucky Wildcats, number 4 in the Pyramid of Power.
Number 5.
Well, we'll go Missouri, and they're 10-6. Again, they beat Tennessee, which a lot of us thought was going to be a trap game, and it was. Late game execution. Tennessee had a double-digit lead. Missouri, put together a good game. And Arkansas will probably have a lot to say whether Missouri gets a first-round bye in the SEC tournament as they close the season up in Como But Missouri, 10-6, 29 overall. They've played well at the end of the year.
All right, who winds up in number 6?
Well, just based on record, Vanderbilt's 9-7, so I went with Tennessee mainly because Tennessee beat Vanderbilt head-to-head. They are still 10-6, lost 2 games last week. 5 of their 6 league losses were games they had double-digit leads. So not able to hold on to the lead. The Vols, they play great defense, but sometimes they go through these 5 or 6 minute droughts where they don't know how to score.
And that
so,
final, correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce, that final game's in Knoxville on Saturday, correct?
It is.
Okay.
It is. They'll play at South Carolina tonight without Nate Ament, and then they'll play Saturday at Thompson Bowling.
I saw that injury update about him. A timeline kind of like Carter Knox. Don't know if he's coming back. Any indication from your side of things when they might get him?
Just from what I'm reading, they're being cautious. I think they'll probably hold him out till the tournament. It doesn't look like they're going to get a top 4 seed just because basically Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, that's who Tennessee's lost to. So no tiebreakers in that group. So very doubtful they'll get a top 4 seed.
All right, Bruce, what's going on at Pradco? Made right here in Arkansas. I know we've had some really good weather lately. It's going to rain a little bit this week, but before we know it, it's going to be nice 70, 80. It's perfect fishing weather.
I actually love it when it rains this time of year, especially if you're on a Highland reservoir like Beaver Lake or Tenkiller or Broken Bow, Greer's Ferry, any of those types of lakes. You have these things called drains. So they might be creeks or they might just be runoff. And, man, you can once the water's been running in, the fish are just drawn to those run-ins like magnets. They like water coming in at sweeps, bugs, and minnows, and just all kinds of things, and they get up there to feed real shallow. So you can take a Booyah Covert Series finesse spinnerbait, usually white with double willow leaves, or you could take a swim bait like a Yum Money Minnow, or you can take just a War Eagle 1/8 ounce jig head with a 6-inch Yum Thumping Dinger, and you can work any of those baits in that little bit of current that's flowing down. And this is just a great thing to do when it's raining. When you see 4 or 5 days of rain in a row, you can start making these little milk runs where you know these little run-ins are, and you go up and you change baits, you catch a few, then you go to the next one, and 3-4 hours later, you've caught a bunch of fish, and it's just a fun thing to do. Take advantage of what nature provides when you get that water running in. Get up there shallow with a Booyah spinnerbait or a Yum Thumping Dinger, and you can catch a lot of fish.
Pradco Fishing made it right here in Arkansas. Are you going to let an employee or two that ask you to get off early for the game tomorrow? Like Cal said, he'd sign the waiver.
If anybody wants to, we would definitely sign the waiver for that. So glad to see people supporting the local team. So hopefully they're all working right now. But I guess if any practical people are listening, they want to go to the game, we'll make sure.
That's a man of the people right there. Bruce Stan, Pradco Fishing. Bruce, have a great rest of your week. Big week of SEC basketball leading into Nashville next week at the tournament.
All right, Ty. Good talking to you.
All right, that's our buddy Bruce Stan, Pradco Fishing. When we come back, we got to get into our hog update. Going to hear more from John Calipari and his final coaches show of the year last night. Also, Dave Van Horn talking all things baseball at the Swatters Club yesterday. I know a lot of people have been asking about Carson Wiggins. We can touch on that a little bit of what he had to say about him as we continue on A Time Travel Tuesday.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
So I don't know. But here's what I do know. This team is prepared for March, and they're built for March.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Wrap Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
The new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupa at Taco Bell. You can't get just one. Okay, so that's not like some marketing hyperbole. You literally can't get just one. They come in twos. So like, if you want just one, you're going to need to find a friend who loves slow roasted chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch sauce. Or a friend of a friend, or have an awkward conversation with a complete stranger to see if they're obsessed with chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch. Or you could just like eat them both because you're obsessed with slow roasted chicken, bacon. Okay, you get the idea. The new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell U.S. locations for a limited time while supplies last.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, Arkansas, March 5th through the 8th at Fort Smith Northside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 5th through the 8th in Fort Smith.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Instant fun every day? That's a win. The chance at a life-changing jackpot? Win. Creating scholarships for Arkansas students? That's the biggest win of all. When you play the lottery, it's a win-win-win for Arkansas. So far, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has raised over $1.5 billion to fund more than 822,000 scholarships. Keep playing and winning, Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
He's such a specimen. I mean, physical, and his brother went through it. Carson, he's a strike thrower, and now it seems like he's throwing strikes already. And so, we'll see. Like I told you, he's 2-year draft eligible, and he's going to be drafted or might not, because he wants way too much money. In a perfect world for us, he gets to pitch for us at the end of the year, and we get him back next year, and he pitches on Friday nights.
I know a lot of Arkansas baseball fans have been asking about Carson Wiggins, who is it slightly over a year or under a year that he's rehabbing from Tommy John?
A little bit under, because we did see him a little bit in the past years.
Yeah, so the deal with him is that he has a chance to go pro after this year, and you're trying to get him back. I forget the timeline of when he'll come back. It's either right before postseason or maybe in the midst of where Arkansas will play in postseason, or the expectation is they will. But he is it's wild to me. You haven't seen this kid pitch in so long, and yet he's being talked about. I think he's like top 150 prospects in the MLB right now, the draftable wise. Hope you get him back to add to your pitching rotation, especially when it comes to what you're going to be doing in June.
There's just not many guys in all of baseball that can hit triple digits, and Carson Wiggins has been known to do that. He's got a flamethrower for an arm, and that's just one thing that you really want to keep on campus. Obviously, if you're being selfish like Coach Van Horn, but that is a guy that,
and he's like
said,
smiling when he's saying that too. By the way,
so we really don't know yet what's going to happen for Wiggins. Hopefully, he does get to come back and pitch just to even boost his draft stock and to feel better a little bit later on going into whatever he decides his future wants to be. But if he does come back and pitch for the Razorbacks, I'm going to be looking forward to it because the kid has incredible stuff.
And speaking of pitching, James DeCramer getting the start for Arkansas today against Oral Roberts. He's the kid that pitched with the flu and was in there, 3 or 4 innings the other day and dealing with that.
Iron Man.
Also on the subject of pitching, DBH was having some fun with the Swatters Club yesterday.
Everything was good, just a little arms I could feel a little bit, but I like throwing BP. The other coaches are they cannot believe that I can go 45 days without throwing and I can throw nothing but strikes, and the players love hitting at me. It's easy, I did it since I started coaching, or when I was a GA here, the number of pitches I've thrown in batting practice quadruples every one of those guys. Now, Bobby's on his way to catching, but he's got to go about another 30 years probably because he throws a lot.
I'll tell you one of my favorite things in sports, whether it's the college or professional level, is when the head coach either tossing the football to wide receiver, in Dave's case, throwing the baseball over the plate and getting his guys to whack it, basketball, shooting shots or passing the ball to guys. To me, that's just fun to watch. I don't know if everyone enjoys that as much as I do, but when I see the head coach participating actively in drills, I've just always really liked that aspect of the game.
It is very, very fun. And pitching BP is a real skill, Ty. It's one of those things that you have to, that it takes 40 years of coaching to really get perfect. It's just like whenever you do a rebound shell drill and your coach is intentionally trying to miss the shot.
Yeah.
That takes some skill, too. But you mentioned guys doing that. I always think of Jim Harbaugh out there, in the cold with his receiver gloves on, warming up Justin Herbert. I
That's
love
a good
that.
one. And also, when you think about just the different practices and whatnot, it can get boring. It can get monotonous. It's the same thing, but when your coach is in it, it's this is
fun,
kind of
competitive.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun and a little more competitive. All right, that is your Hog update this morning here on a Time Travel Tuesday. Just a reminder, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell, you can get something saucy, cheesy, crunchy. You're always going to find it. Typically, it's my road trip. I always stop at Taco Bell's across Arkansas when I'm on the road somewhere. Fantastic. I always enjoy the chicken enchilada burrito. But again, all of our content, whether it's Chuck and Bo, Morning Rush, Halftime Ruskin, and Zach, podcast, interviews, press conferences, you can always find it on the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. We did get a text from Clark saying, I heard last show, what's going on? I'm sorry I may have missed something. Well, all right, so
last listenable episode for this week.
Chill. Don't bash yourself too much. Colton and Zach are doing the show on Wednesday and Thursday. Tommy and I's timing, we got in the crosswire, he's in DC, I'm in Florida, and it's rare. I think the first time we were working together 7.5 years where we've been on vacation at the same time. It just happened to coincide on this. I'll tell you a guy that I feel like never takes a vacation is our buddy David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi and Rath Auto Resources. David, it's hard I know you got spring break, I know you got kiddos, but with all these spring specials you got going on, it's really hard for any downtime, is it?
Man, it really is. Yeah, trying to plan something, but it'll probably be a month or two before we're able to hit the road and get out of town at all. But we're trying to get that all set up for our customers, especially there at our Fort Smith Meineke Car Care Center. Man, we have been really hustling around, coming up with some really good specials on that. Basically, if you have anything you need done with your ride, we probably got a coupon or a special offer for it right now. So you can check us out. You can get on the Meineke Car Care website and find our location there in Fort Smith. All the coupons are right there. But we got some really good ones like buy 3, get 1 free with Mountain Balance on tires, full synthetic oil change. That starts at $49.99. So it's a really good deal on that. $100 off brakes, $50 per axle on that. So we got you covered on pretty much anything you need. Free AC checks. wouldn't think you would really be worrying about that too much over the past month or two, but that's coming. We're going to get some warmer weather. So the free AC checks, visual inspection on that, we got you covered there. A little bit of everything, man. So check out those coupons there. You can just, like I said, get on the Meineke website, look us up, or you can just Google Meineke Car Care in Fort Smith, and you can get the link to everything you need there. And, download those coupons and save a ton.
He's the man, David Rath, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. All right, I know you got to get back to work. Some of us are just kind of lounging around here, David.
I'm jealous, dude.
All right, see you, brother.
Thanks, y'all.
Morning Rush Daily Question when we come back on a Time Travel Tuesday.
Take this job and shove it. So you got to leave work early. You got to get the kids out of school early. You want to give them a letter. If you want a piece of paper, I'll sign it.
Streaming live from
HitThatLive.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. Itswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
I mean, a couple times I said, Karen, what are you doing with the remote? You're messing it up. She's like, it's Flow. I'm like, okay, I get it.
This is The Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty.
Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at keeparkansasbeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Wave Rural Connect has some exciting news. Our service is now available in a brand new zone covering parts of Midland and Montreal. If you're along Highway 45, 252 or 253, or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
So an item we've yet to touch on through the first 40 minutes or so of the show is Josh Heupel, apparently Kirby Smart, advocating for a 24-team college football playoff. I realize we're on the cusp of March Madness, but this did catch my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy reading Chris Lowe. I've enjoyed listening to him on our airwaves on this show, Chuck and Bo, and various other points. What should the number be? Again, I know it's basketball season and it's also baseball season, but anytime you can thrust a college football conversation in March, I'm gonna try and do that. Now, I want you to think about this. 16, I think, is where we're probably going to head. I don't know, maybe they get to 12. But for Arkansas to have a chance at some point in time, I don't know if it's under Coach Silverfield. I don't know if it's another coach. Hopefully it's under Coach Silverfield. You got to say 24 from an Arkansas fan standpoint. Now, the betterment of college football, I would say 12 or 16. But from the Arkansas vantage point, I don't know how you don't say 24.
Well, we might need the full 68, to be quite honest with you, if you want to get the Razorbacks in there, just judging on how things have gone recently for us. And I say that tongue-in-cheek. If there are 24 teams with a good season, Arkansas could have definitely found themselves in the college football playoff if the 24 teams is the way you go. I like 16. I think that's a pretty equitable number. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier in Tommy's, in the clip from 20 years ago. There's 300-something teams that play basketball in Division I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in football and at the FBS level, it's a lot different. 120, 130-something or so. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but 16 is a pretty good number of teams to pick from. Are there 16 teams every year that can win a championship in college football? No, but I understand there's TV money. There's things that the things that go into this, that 16 is a little bit more palatable to me than 24. I think there's 8 more. There's 8 more teams, so there's 4 more games. It's only one more weekend, really, one more day of the week, so you could squeeze those in. But 16 to me sounds good because it eliminates the buys. You wouldn't have anybody getting a bye, and I think that would also tighten up that college football schedule that's always seemed to be dragging on a little bit too far and giving coaches a huge headache.
B in Clarksville, clearly we're top 126.
We can get in there.
We can get in the top. Craig's saying he likes 16, that number. on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
I think 16 is good. You obviously couldn't call it the Sweet 16 or March Madness would get after you, but you do have to. I mean, I think 16 is a good number because it eliminates those buys. And teams are already getting rest in between conference championship week and things like that. So
first 2 years, I believe those teams with the exception of Indiana are 1-7.
Yeah.
So Indiana is the only team in the last 2 years that has won after having a bye. So there's clearly not an advantage, at least through the 2 years of sample size and 2 years of data that we had. And how about, like, if you're a top 4 seed, you should be able to host your own college football game.
Absolutely.
Playoff game. You're playing 1v16, 2v15, 3v14, so just set it up like that. I think there's incentive there. And that's, if I understand why Kirby Smart is advocating. I know Josh Heupel and company were in it 2 years ago, and they got throttled by Ohio State. That was just a wild thing. All those Tennessee fans filled up the horseshoe. You got their players shirtless for the game, and then I guess it was Jeremiah Smith and company just ran over them by like 28 points or something like that. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. I was actually texting Nate Garrett and Christian Olsen last night, owners of Cart Pass Social. TVs galore at Cart Pass Social for March Madness, the SEC tournament, Razorback baseball, plus corporate events, team meetings, celebrations, always BYOB, food and beverages. Plus, you can have 75-plus team member events. 75-plus. And it's reasonably priced. Just click on cartpasssocial.com. Click on the events tab. It's awesome. I'm not just saying that because they're my buddies. Like, you can ask Morning Rush listeners. We've had Morning Rush listeners text in via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline that have enjoyed going to Cart Pass Social. Again, cartpasssocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. On the subject of entertainment, I had this down on a rundown yesterday, and we didn't get to it. So this is not a new thing, by the way. Cardinals fans out there, and I know we've got a good chunk of them listening here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. They are doing this thing, and I don't know how long, but they do it for $29. You can go to a Cardinals games in section 271 and 272. Unlimited Coke products, hot dogs, chicken tenders, bratwurst, nachos, french fries, popcorn, peanuts, kettle chips, and ice cream cups. The Reds, I don't know how many Cincinnati Reds fans we have. They're doing it for $26.50. The Rockies are doing it for $199 the whole year. Wow. Just think of not the best seats. Like, it's kind of the same thought as the Hog Pen, except you can bring in your own food and bring in your own drinks. That's what makes the Hog Pen elite. But for a professional sporting event, to get in the door for less than $30 and have all you can eat, that's a pretty swell deal if you ask me.
Awesome. That's an awesome deal. And what that's going to do is that's going to get folks to come out to the ballpark and have a good night watching ball with their family, and everybody gets to eat cheap. Obviously, you get everything that you want. You know, the Rockies up there, everybody has the munchies in Colorado, so I mean they're going to make a killing off of that. But I think this is a good deal, and if the Cardinals were a lot closer, then I could make a day trip there a couple of times, a season to do it for $30. You'd bet I'd sit in the nosebleed section and shove my face full of hot dogs until they had to haul me out of there in a crane. So I think this is a really cool thing, and I would like to see this happen at more major league stadiums because there's an attendance problem there. They already have issues with blackouts, and you can't even watch a team that's in your area. So this is something that baseball needs because, once again, it is America's pastime. There's no better way to pass the time tide than shoving your face full of hot dogs.
Your face with chicken tenders, bratwurst, nachos, hot dogs, and
beer
stuff.
Not included in that, I guess.
I mean,
to pay for
to me, you asking me $30 or less, buffets now are $20. You're basically paying $10 for a ticket. I would think that's well worth it. I don't. Again, I'm not a Cardinals fan or a diehard baseball fan, but that would get me in the ballpark.
I could become one. I could definitely become one.
Now, if you added alcoholic beverages and added an extra $10 or $20, I think you would do even better. I don't know.
Be a whole generation of Cardinals fans.
I don't know if there would be I mean, you got the Budweiser, you got the Anheuser-Busch distributor right next door. I would think it's kind of like the Georgia has Coke down there in Atlanta and close to Athens, so they can charge dirt cheap prices, or maybe that's just a Georgia and Atlanta Falcons thing. Nevertheless, they charge way less on concessions. Speaking of concessions, tomorrow night, final game in Bud Walton Arena for this basketball team. I would think that even though it's a 6 o'clock game, and you heard Cal again joking, we were talking with Bruce Stanton a little bit earlier, Cal joking about leaving work early.
I mean, they've been unbelievable, and our season ticket holders. Now, this game is at 6. Like, so we need you there early. You can't come at 6:30. So you got to leave work early. You got to get the kids out of school early. You want to give them a letter. If you want a piece of paper, I'll sign it. This is from Coach Cal. He needs them to be dismissed from school early, or work. You're at work and you say, I got to leave. Coach Cal asked me to leave. I don't know what to tell you.
I would think pretty packed house tonight. Tomorrow night. What I say tonight. Tomorrow night. I don't know what the attendance is going to look like today at Bob Marker Stadium with Oral Roberts in town, who's been a good baseball team these last few years. But I would think tomorrow night, especially against Texas, Darius's final game, likely Malik Thomas's final game, Nick Pringle, TB. I would guess that you're going to have a pretty packed house. And like you said, you can get out, leave work early. Cal, let Cal sign the document.
You know, what's funny is if Cal actually went through and put out something like a release and just signed it, please excuse.
They've done that before.
I guarantee there are a lot of people in this state that would look at that and they would basically
hand it to the boss.
They'd hand it to their boss, and their boss would look at it and say, "This is the same thing as you being sick. You're absolutely excused."
Yeah,
because their boss is trying to get out of there early too. So I do hope that it's a packed house because people need to go and see this team one last time. They need to be there to support their team. It's Texas. We're kind of forgetting about that, Ty. This is Texas. This is the team that you love to hate. You wake up with a fire in your stomach every time you play Texas because you just hate them. So this
and it's
is
the only
big
men's
game.
basket. There's going to be a lot of people that are not Razorback or Texas fans that will be watching tomorrow night, being that, like you said, it's a standalone. All the games. And I know this has been talked about. I got a text about it after the loss on Saturday. It's like, did you see what the schedule is next week? And I was like, I knew Arkansas was playing by itself, but people are mad because you're playing the Wednesday game. And then, by the way, you're turning around and playing the earliest game on Saturday against the Missouri Tigers. I must have complained about that before. I don't know if Cal has. I can't remember or not. I know that's kind of annoying from the setup and where you want to be in the SEC tournament. You'd like to have, again, a top 4 seed. I don't know if it's going to affect their play against the Missouri Tigers come Saturday. What I do feel confident in is Arkansas is going to bounce back tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You got your brain speed in against maybe the best team in college basketball. I know Duke and Arizona have something to say about that, but Florida's at least in that conversation and is at least entertained based on the month of February that they've had, similar to what they did last year. So it didn't, like when Cal talks about this team being built for March, Saturday night did not change my opinion of this basketball team one bit.
No.
Like you walked into a buzzsaw and it was a bloodbath and you got ripped up. And like they have pretty much every other time this season, I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that. But what you said there is truthful. Texas being the opponent on senior night is like the 7th storyline in this game, which I never thought I would say about when you play the Longhorns in anything, football, basketball, baseball. But it's legitimately, it hasn't been talked about at all, which is wild considering the deal with Arkansas and Texas in basketball over the years. But it's going to be talked about tomorrow night. There's no question about that. Hey, Burn Pools and Spas, are you looking for a place to spend family time together? Well, how about your own backyard? Burn Pools and Spas. They've been trusted since 1978. Whether it's a hot tub or sauna, you're investing in your health and well-being. They've helped over 9,000 families ease their stress, improve their sleep, and feel better. They carry the Hot Spring, the #1 hot tub, and they're offering Tylo saunas as well. With Burns, you'll always have a trusted partner long after the sale. Burn Pools and Spas, water for a better life. 4 locations, Springdale, Greenland, Fort Smith, and Hot Springs. Burnpools.com. All right, Kevin, I'm going to push you to the 10 o'clock hour because I know I don't want to give you 30 seconds.
You deserve more, Kevin.
Just stay on the line. We will get to you via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Anyone else? Tom Murphy's going to join us. We'll chat with him about the baseball game today, the Arkansas basketball team, more stuff Cal said last night at 877-377-6963. But yeah, this Texas game, it's wild, but that's kind of where it is, Colton.
Nobody really cares that it's Texas. We really want to make sure that everybody's healthy and that they bounce back.
It's about Darius's health. It's Malik and Cal talking about that last night. It's about, hey, where are they going to be in Nashville next week? Still got Texas coming in tomorrow night. What a way to end the home schedule inside of Bud Walton Arena. Hour number 2 coming up here on a Time Travel Tuesday. We'll go back to 2008 as well. Listen to Tommy talk about a few things next on the Morning Rush.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH25 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
You've been dreaming of that new workshop, horse barn, or extra storage space? Now let Sutherland's make it a reality. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. From deluxe post frame packages to custom horse sheds, we have it all. And the best part, you don't have to lift a finger. Our expert crews handle the entire installation. Quality you can trust and service that's been family owned since 1917. 4 stores in Arkansas: Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart. Visit Sutherland's.com or stop by your local store today for a free estimate. No matter the project, we're here to help because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem, the Crawfish Festival that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high temperatures will be into the upper 70s with winds up to near 25 miles per hour. Chance of seeing a few showers or thunderstorms tonight. And overnight low will drop down close to 60 degrees. Wednesday, chance of showers, a few scattered thunderstorms are high on Wednesday in the middle to upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush.
Malik, he was in a booth today. His foot for the last 2 weeks has been bothering him. So you got guys that are like, well, I'm going to take the next. I'm done. I mean, that's not those two, but. Now, part of that evaluation of those two, that plays a part. Like, who do you want? You want a guy that plays through pain and is doing what he has to for the team to win? And both of those two, they're helping themselves, obviously helping the team. And I'm even telling a couple guys, if they're willing and Darius is willing, come on, man, you got to step on the gas. You got to sprint the court. You got to go after balls. You got to hit first. You got to go block some shots. You got to make a dunk. If this kid is willing to do this for the team, we need to have everybody.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little.
You might as well pop the $30 a month for LinkedIn Gold.
With Ty Richardson.
As we've seen in our Razorback fandom, where players' dreams go to die.
This is the Morning Rush.
What was that in reference to, by the way? That clip.
Your statement talking about Mendoza going to the Raiders, where everybody knows because of McFadden, everybody knows the Raiders are where their dreams go to die.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I can't recall what that was in reference.
Sometimes
to.
I clip good stuff out for me, and sometimes I forget.
No, that was good.
I just put that one in.
Hour 2 here on the Morning Rush. Colton Little, Ty Richardson. Tommy is in Washington D.C. the next few days. He'll be back the show on Friday. For the first time ever, the duo of Zach Arntz and Colton Little will be on the Morning Rush the next 2 days because. A work trip for Tommy and
you guys don't communicate. That's exactly
vacation. Listen, I'm not taking accountability for that. I will when I mess up via text in person, I will take accountability for something. Me, Jack, I'm not taking accountability for that. I'll leave it at that. Hey, Oaklawn Anywhere. Think about racing season. Oaklawn. I saw Dave Portnoy was there this past weekend. You can bet racing with Oaklawn Anywhere at bet.oaklawn.com. You can download the Oaklawn Anywhere app on the Apple App Store. For Android users, just go to bet.oaklawn.com. New members can earn a sign-up bonus up to $200. Earn points for every cashback wager, free past performances, and free access to valuable handicapping selections to help you win. That is Oaklawn Anywhere. Just use the promo code RUSH26. One more time, RUSH26 for Oaklawn Anywhere. All right, we're going to deliver on a promise that we talked about before the break. Kevin is in Rogers. Kevin, thank you for patiently holding for 10-plus minutes. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, Kevin.
Oh, no problem. Always good to talk to you, Ty and Colton. Hey, yeah, it's just a little basketball Tuesday night. It's senior night, big game, and guys, this game means something. Mm-hmm. It definitely means something to Texas, who's just coming off a big win on the road against A&M. They're trying to make the tournament, and we're not giving on the top 4 seed right now. I mean, I've looked at it, and you've looked at it. You got a 3-way tie for 4th right there.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tennessee. Kentucky beats you, and Missouri gets you the last game, and you know how that game in Columbia can go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a possibility, you win tonight or you win Tuesday night, but you lose that game, depending what Kentucky does the last 2 games, and their schedule's not easy. They get A&M in Florida.
Yeah.
One on the road, one at home, but You could pop yourself out into a Thursday night ball game real easy if you're not ready to go. I mean, because if you split with Missouri, the tiebreaker is who has the better record against the top two teams. Well, unfortunately, that's Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
We're 0-2, and they beat Florida early in the year. So we really got to be ready to go. Did I hear Calright was Malik in a boot too? Did you say?
Yes.
Did I hear that on the?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, you heard that right. That was on Live with Coach Cal's final show last night. And Malik's been dealing with that injury on his offhand for a while now, several weeks. But yeah, I don't know if that was re-aggravated or something he aggravated in the Florida game, Kevin.
Yeah, well, they never really said what the deal was with Malik. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. We heard he might have been in a car accident. Well, we figured it was an airbag burn or something that maybe popped his hand, but he played great. I don't know. They never really released what was wrong with his hand, which they don't have to. But I don't know. You read stuff on social media, you know how it is. Well, I know those guys will be fine. I mean, I just worry about, and you guys know this. We've seen this from freshmen towards the end of the year. Moses Moody dealt with this in the NCAA tournament in our Elite Eight run. He struggled because their bodies just kind of wear out.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to playing this competition or playing this long. So I don't think it'll be the case with these two. These two are winners. But these games are big. I mean, and the Texas game should be fun. I mean, I think it's going to be upper 90s game for us. I mean, they have a great offense, and they gave Florida all they wanted to the last 7 minutes.
Kevin, I think your point's well made. I don't want to make light of anything Moses accomplished because without Moses and Devo and Jalen, we're maybe not having the conversation about Cal being here because they were that group that got us back to the Elite Eight and everything. But you're right about freshmen wearing down, and that's why I've been so kind of teetering a little bit is because Darius has not played well relative to what he usually does the last 3 games, just from a shooting standpoint. Your point is accurate about freshmen in the NCAA tournament. I mean, when you look at performances lately, the last 10 or so years, it's been by not necessarily just guards, but elder statesmen in the game. And that's not to say that Darius can't explode in March and can't have a lot of success, but the track record in the last decade has been veterans, and the most recent being Walter Clayton Jr. So I don't know if worry is the right word, but I just wonder if this group of kids, and I say group, these two, Darius and Malik, can explode here in March. They have the capability, but like you said, it's a physical time of year, and you go up really smart basketball players and really good coaching. So I'm curious what bears out the next few weeks.
Just one last thing. I think Darius hasn't shot as well as he has since, he kind of exploded. Malik hasn't really shot the 3 as much since Alabama. But I just wonder if being off the practice floor, you still got to get your shots in.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. So, I mean, if you're just taking 2 days off and showing up for the game and shoot around, I mean, we can see what the difference has made in some of the other guys. But we need full 110% effort from TB and Malik Ewing and Nick Pringle. I watched Nick Pringle for 3 years at Alabama and South Carolina, and that is not the guy that we brought in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you. I mean, he played right beside Bediako, and they were dominant, and they won the SEC overall title, and they went to a Final Four. I mean, so I don't know, but that's all I got. Great talking to you, Woo Pig.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, Kev. So on the subject of practice, before we get with Tom, you brought up an important point. This was Cal talking about Darius last night.
And I said, how you feeling? He said, I'm good. I got to practice tomorrow. We got to practice. So here's a guy that's hurt, probably doesn't need to practice, and probably could sit out some games. And this kid's like, no. Not only that, I'm playing, and I want to practice.
So maybe practice. Maybe they practice, or maybe they're gonna it sounds like they're gonna practice. Now they're at home tomorrow night against Texas, so you have the luxury of whether it's the Anderson practice facility or Bud Walton Arena to take advantage of that. But that's again Darius Acuff pushing Coach Calipari to practice. And last thing for Tom, as of now, Arkansas is a 3 seed. They would play approximately 25 minutes after the game. So I would guess probably 8:45 next Friday night if they remain the 3 seed. If they're the 4 seed, they'll play at 6 o'clock next Friday. But we got 2 games before that. All right, let's talk with our buddy Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush.
We got something called beef. B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Tom.
All right, we bring in the fabulous Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, you heard Kevin there talking about Darius and Malik, and Cal kind of informed us last night that the boot that I guess Malik is now in, is that a concern if you're an Arkansas fan thinking about your 2 stud freshmen kind of dealing with, I don't know, the same thing, different things, and these final 2 games of the regular season before Nashville next week?
Well, yes, very obviously it's a concern. And by the way, that was a pretty astute caller, man. He seemed to kind of know his stuff, so to speak. So it's always good. But yeah, I think, I love Darius Acuff's heart. Whatever NBA team he winds up on, I'm going to follow that team and probably become a semi-fan of them because I love what why he's playing and that he's such a competitor. But Arkansas's got away the benefits and the strengths of how much he plays in the next 2 games in the tournament, in the SEC tournament, compared to what you need from him in the NCAA tournament. And yeah, I do think you can see evidence of a little bit of wear and tear. And I mean, they laid it out there in that Alabama game, y'all. They laid it out there, and I think that's why the officiating and the discrepancy in the fouls and free throw shooting stuck with Cal for so long, is that his team invested so much in that game, and he just felt like Alabama got a few more whistles on drives, particularly down the stretch, than they did. But anyway, yes, it's a concern, and yes, Pringle's play is a concern. I mean, Texas has got that 7-footer who's very offensive skilled, who is going to put pressure on you and create foul situations. He's got to stay in the game longer. He's got to be more of an offensive threat. And certainly the rebounding element of his game has got to be more apparent. They got dominated. It was the thing they worried about the most, and they got dominated by 20 against Florida. And I think there are other teams. Now, I don't know if there's any team in the country that has the quality of depth in the front court and all that, the physicality. So, but it was an eye-opening experience. And yeah, they need more out of Pringle.
Tom, on the subject of the Gators, did that not feel like a Cal team? Because to me, John Calipari, his strengths in Lexington for so many years is that you might get 1 7-footer in foul trouble, but he'd have 2 or 3 more. And Florida with 4 guys 6'9" or taller that actually played. I know Ryu came in late, but does that not feel like with the guard play that Florida has and then the big men, did that not feel like a Cal team in Lexington that you saw in Gainesville Saturday night?
I mean, if you can build that way, and Cal has certainly had teams, and even when he was coaching Kentucky, and I would go there and cover Arkansas games there, you would always he'd always speak about the physicality of a game and getting his players' mindset to be that you get jostled, you get bumped, you play through it. It's just you have to be able to play through it. And I think this team has some of that, but not to the level, like for instance, Brazil, it wasn't his kind of game. He's got to be more physical, and I think he's willing to, but he's got to be more of a factor as well. And Florida effectively took him out. And honestly, he fakes 2 or 3 times more 3-pointers than he actually takes. Sometimes maybe they're not in the flow of the offense, but I wish he would pull the trigger on a little bit more of his 3-point fakes that he has.
Tom Murphy with this Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Tom, we kicked this around earlier. Arkansas, the lone SEC men's game tomorrow night. You got the women's tournament in Greenville. I guess you've got the other games tonight. And then the earliest game on Saturday at 11 a.m. You would think that the SEC would see, all right, this is late. And it's not like they're playing at 6 o'clock. But, I mean, is there a sense of like, they kind of screwed us at the end of the season from a scheduling standpoint?
You can't help but think that. I mean, it's going to be big-time advantage Missouri on Saturday. And as close as they played Arkansas, you get the feel that if Missouri shoots it well, I thought they had a pretty good game plan against Arkansas. I came away really impressed with Dennis Gates and his staff, and
Mark Mitchell.
I mean, they got some. Yeah, they've got some. Mark Mitchell's an outstanding. He's a two-way guy. He's an assist guy. He's a scoring guy. He's hard to contain. So they got a lot of advantages, and then they got Phillips and the other 7-footers too that create problems. So I think big time. If chalk plays out, Missouri's got a big advantage to win that one. And this Texas game, they're playing so well right now, and they're going to create some problems too. They're going to come in with plenty of confidence. So in my view, Arkansas's last two games are both tough. I wouldn't say straight up pick'ems, but close to pick'ems, and it's going to be hard games.
The Razorbacks, like you said, play Texas tomorrow night. It feels like the Longhorns-Arkansas rivalry is like 5th or 6th on the pecking order when you think about Darius Acuff dealing what they're dealing with, Darius and Malik, I should say, the SEC tournament next week. It just doesn't feel like a typical Arkansas-Texas matchup, does it, in terms of the interest that usually is just circled around those two teams?
Wholeheartedly agree. It's going to take a while, I think, for Texas to resume its place in the Arkansas pantheon of who's your biggest rival. But let me tell you, when I was in high school and Nolan Richardson was here, that Texas rivalry was super hot.
Mm-hmm.
The Abe Lemons deals and all that, and even with Pender there. So, but I agree with you. It doesn't have quite the feel of for Alabama, for instance, or maybe even like Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's going to grow. It's going to grow. Of course, Tremont Mark being on their roster adds another layer to it. And I think Texas is going to come into this game really confident from just having won their game at A&M. They've been playing better lately, and I think I would not even put them on the bubble. I think they're an NCAA tournament team now, even if they were to lose their last two and not win a game in the SEC tournament. I think they're in.
Well, Tom, speaking of the NCAA tournament, I don't know if you saw that the memo that was sent to schools about the NCAA tournament, maybe the potential logistical issues when it comes to aircraft and flying and getting teams out. Could you foresee that impacting teams being placed closer to first-round sites for the NCAA tournament, i.e. Arkansas to Oklahoma City or St. Louis? Could that help impact and honestly help benefit the Razorbacks in that situation?
I did see that, and that's a really good point, Ty, because at the Swatters Club, we were all kicking it around yesterday about how it's just unlikely for them. Like OKC, there's other regional teams that would be more logically put in Oklahoma City. But what you say, maybe that lends to an advantage that maybe they could get a 5 seed in OKC, and I honestly hope they do for fan travel and all that. But so many factors play into it. But you're right. I do believe it could impact the NCAA and how they might tweak seed lines to accommodate shorter travel for more teams. And I hope that plays into it.
Well, we might have kicked this around last week, but you think about some recent first-round sites. Providence, over 1,500 miles. Buffalo, nearly 1,000 miles. Des Moines is really the only close one. I know when they went to Indianapolis, that's where all the teams were, but it sure would be nice for Arkansas fans to be, I don't know, within 300 miles or so of a game they can actually attend rather than having to spend bucos of money on flights and stuff like that where you could just take a little road trip out of it, Tom.
Totally agree. Recent history says that Arkansas has been shipped out. I mean, I know you listed them. They went to San Francisco for the regional round.
Uh-huh.
So it would be OKC would be lovely. I just think that the odds before this memo came out, I thought the odds were pretty low, but I do believe this might kick them up a little bit. And wouldn't it be wonderful if because Arkansas fans would flock to OKC.
I agree wholeheartedly. And last time you won a national championship, you started playing in Oklahoma City. Not that this team necessarily has the capability to do that. Just an interesting point. Tom, you mentioned the Swatters Club. I know Carson Wiggins kind of a hot button topic for media and fans, him coming back, the timeline, and what he could potentially be. And I know Dave was touching on yesterday that just wanted to get him back for maybe next season as well, depending on where he is and how much he could potentially get paid by an MLB team. Is there anything else that's you thought was important or of note? I know Dave spoke about 40, 50 minutes and then spoke with you guys after. Was there anything else that stood out yesterday in talking with DVH?
Well, actually, really a lot. Wiggins is one factor in that, and it's interesting that Wiggins wants to be able to help this team, which means, he's not thinking about protect my arm. Pro scouts already know what my potential is and my top end, but he wants to be able to pitch for Arkansas again. And for Dave Van Horn and his staff, the scenario is, well, we would like to be able to have him next year as well. He will be draft eligible after this year, so there's a lot at play there. How much he can make next year at Arkansas, what it would mean for his bottom line with his draft stock if he can improve it. So, to me, you have to look at it like this. All you get out of Carson Wiggins this year would be totally gravy for this team. I really like their pitching staff. I think Cooper Dawson's going to improve. When you think about the guys who've had troublesome outings, Dietz had a couple, but boy, he was so on last time. Dawson's had a bad outing. Eves, he's got a 0 ERA, but he maybe hit a batter and gave up the hit that allowed the tying run to Texas Tech. But he seems a lot more on point now. I just really, really like their pitching staff. And if Brumbaugh and Pompey and Nolan Souza start hitting, then we're going to like their hitting lineup just as much.
I heard him joking about Pompey getting his eyes checked. I guess it wasn't really a joke because it was like apparently he didn't do it in the fall, and that's something they have all their guys do. And apparently it helped Behiva Lloyd. We saw him win the Golden Spikes last year, so maybe it can help Pompey a little bit, whether it's in the field or at the plate.
I hope so. And you can't compare apples to apples. Everyone's eyesight is different. But you can also, you're a young man. My eyesight's fine. I can see everything. Well, you go in and you get it checked, and sometimes it can have changed a little bit. And having some type of contact certainly helped Behiva Aloy. And maybe, who knows? We haven't heard the result of Pompey having his eyes checked. But you would want to do everything in your power to improve your sight at the plate. When the ball coming out of sun, into shade and at night with lights, everything is a little different. And so I would like to see him, reach his potential basically. Which at Texas Tech he hit a lot better and didn't strike out as much. So that would be the goal there.
Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, bringing it to us every single Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock. Tom, good stuff, man. We appreciate it as always.
Enjoy chopping it up, man. Take care.
All right. We always like talking with Tom on Tuesdays. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. On a cattle ranch, calves are not only raised by their mother, but a community of farmers, ranchers, and vets committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for all those people, including the moms of the baby calves, animal welfare is their top priority. Together we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner, funded by farmers and ranchers right here in Arkansas, courtesy of Beef, it's what's for dinner.com. When we come back, SEC update. We're also, again, going back, blast from the past, 18 years ago, some topics that we were discussing, kind of changed things up, shifted some themes. We found some old Morning Rush CDs from 19, 18 years ago that are synced up, timed up to kind of around March at this time period. More of the Morning Rush, Colton Little, Ty Richardson, Tommy and DC. We roll on next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
You got your butt kicked up between your shoulder blades.
This is the Morning Rush.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith. Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the number one place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship!
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
But I would say the SEC might have 10 teams in the top 25, which is like unheard of. And the league's old. I say it every year. It's just the way it is. They were talking about it. I was watching everybody's favorite, what's it called, Flow Sports. I mean, a couple times I told Karen, what are you doing with the remote? You're messing it up. She's like, it's Flow. I'm like, okay, I get it. Anyway, then she got on me about it. I said, no, it's Flow. I learned real quick. But they were talking about our league and how strong it is and how old our league is and how hard it is to play as a freshman.
I was Dave Van Horn at the Swatters Club yesterday, touching on not just the Southeastern Conference in our SEC update, but also everyone's favorite application, Flow Sports. And again, some people it's It's March, and they forgot to cancel it. Hopefully you don't get dinged for another charge this month. I don't know how that works. I've never bought it. But you don't have to worry about that until February of 2027.
It's a good thing, though, because that thing, Dave is right. It's just the worst. And they make people do it down there. And it's a shame because they have a lot of good teams down there. Just put it on regular linear TV.
Yep, I don't disagree with you there. All right, continue on our SEC update. This is a wild stat. There was I think it's Inside the Gamecock, South Carolina publication. Listen to this. I know sometimes we think we have it bad as Razorback fans, and based on a 2-10 football season, you're rightly so in that case. But basketball and baseball, not so much. Since January 1st of 2025, South Carolina's men's football, basketball, and baseball have played 88 games against power conference competition. They are 15-73, a 17% winning percentage, 9-50 in the Southeastern Conference. They take on the Tennessee Volunteers tonight in Columbia. I'm going to guess they're going to lose again, moving it to 9-51. So, again, we get it bad sometimes, and I know a lot of you are older than me, and you can tell me about various games, stories that are worse than what I've had experienced the last 31 years, but that is just rough for South Carolina.
Well, I think about it, South Carolina as a program in football, basketball, and baseball. This is a baseball team that I believe won 2 national championships.
Ray Tanner.
Back in, I think, 10, 15 years ago. And then also their basketball team made a random Elite Eight or a Final Four, I think
Final
it was.
Four.
Yeah, Final
Frank
Four
Martin.
with some Darius Thornwell and some of those guys back then. So this is not a team not a program that just had never had any success at all. And I'm forgetting tons and tons of championships, I'm sure. You'll have to forgive me, Gamecock fans. But I really think this is one of those things where they were kind of in a similar boat to Arkansas, and they had zero money and zero infrastructure put together within their program to handle all of this NIL and all the money that it would take at the same time. And they also don't have some of the best coaches that they definitely need in the sport. So I could care less about South Carolina, to be quite honest with you. I sometimes forget they're even in the SEC. But I'll tell you this. You're right, Ty. We like to grovel and say, oh, woe is me, Arkansas against the world, everybody hates us. We are not 15-73 since January 1st,
It's the old phrase, who's got it better than us? But in this case, who's got it worse than us?
Well, South Carolina.
South Carolina. They again take on Tennessee tonight at 5 o'clock. Alabama and Georgia. Missouri against Oklahoma. Kentucky against A&M.
That'd be a good one.
You want Kentucky to lose.
Yep.
Come on. Buckyball. Mississippi State against Florida tonight. Doesn't really matter. I wonder how Florida will play Saturday against Kentucky with the regular season share at least locked up. They're going to win tonight. So they're, I don't know how much effort they're going to give against Kentucky Saturday. Vanderbilt against Ole Miss, and then LSU at Auburn. And you're the only team that's playing on Wednesday. Mentioning Tennessee and South Carolina, Nate Ament is not going to play tonight for them. He's kind of TBD like Carter Knox. Don't know what his timeline looks like. And also on the subject of Tennessee, we were talking about this earlier for our Morning Rush Daily Question. Josh Heupel telling Chris Lowe of On3 that moved from 16 to, I guess not move from 16, moved the playoff to 24 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going from 12 to 16, just go straight to 24.
I think he's really lobbying to try and figure out as much as he can, rightfully so, to squeeze Tennessee into that playoff because I think that seat's getting a little bit warm there in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
They have some high expectations for that football program, and I think that honeymoon there with Heupel is
wild because think about Fulmer in 98.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, obviously, what happened to us? Yeah, I guess it went to the SEC championship in 06. Lost to, I guess it would have been 07. They lost to LSU. I mean, that is outside of what happened 2 years ago. There was 15 years of, not 2 years ago, a couple years before that when they had Hendon Hooker. I mean, there's 10 plus years, kind of like Arkansas, where that program wasn't doing anything. Like 8-4s were awesome under Butch Jones for what he considered a good season.
And it's the pressure of that fan base, Ty, because it's the same fan base that, remember, they invented winning championships in college baseball. So they also had never won a Final Four either in Tennessee in basketball. So, I mean, this is a fan base that is very, very fickle.
Yeah. That's still wild to me is good at teams that they've had at times. They have not
Rick ain't going to do it either.
Made it to the Final Four. All right, that is your, SEC update this morning, brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Excuse me.
God bless
Talking
you.
about the Arkansas basketball game tomorrow night. How about half-price apps and cheap taps? Chips and salsa, complimentary, made from scratch. Love that. And they got the new hot salsa. I still haven't tried it yet, but I need to go over to see Wade Morgan and the team at Joe's Grill and Cantina, right across from Harps on South 74th Street in Fort Smith. Again, during all the Hog games, baseball, basketball, whatever, half-price apps, cheap taps. You can't beat it at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Wear your favorite Hog gear and celebrate together at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
How did you do that silently? I didn't hear anything come out of your mouth.
What?
Impressive. You sneezed. Did you not sneeze?
Tried to. Oh, I did away from the microphone.
I couldn't even hear you on my headphones just out here in the world.
Not an ideal
Is that a radio
situation.
skill I'll pick up one of these days? Silent
There's
sneezing?
no skill that you can take away from me because there's no skills here to begin with. It's just, hey, what not to do on a daily basis in Sports Talk Radio, written by Ty Richardson. All right, so it's Time Travel Tuesday, kind of doing this new thing. We unearthed, as Colton said earlier, some archives of the Morning Rush 18, 19, 20 years ago, and we had some fun with it.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
If I could turn back time. It's time for the Morning Rush Rewind on Time Travel Tuesday.
When I speak of time, gentlemen, I'm referring to the fourth dimension.
This is what makes time travel possible. Flux capacitor.
Do you know anything about time travel?
Time is always against us.
These are the circuits of history, gentlemen. They'll take us to any point in time we wish.
All right, so we got 4 options. Well, you can suggest your pick, the one we're going to play. A&M and Arkansas signing a deal to play in Jerry World. Hogs looking to play good in the SEC tournament. This is from March 11th of 2008.
Yeah.
Nearly 18 years ago.
We're talking basketball this morning. It's probably the big prevailing story right now. A big game with Texas coming up, SEC tournament coming up. Let's hit that one first.
Okay.
My point is, I think the beauty of the tournament, one of the great things is these automatic bids that go out.
Got the wrong one.
But I think you've reached a point now because of the parity. I don't think it's as much the venue and the location as it is what team shows up. Which mindset are they going to show up with in Atlanta? To me, that's as big a telltale sign as anything, you know. And I understand what you're saying about venue, but this is a team that has played well at times in Atlanta with this same crew, and then there's been times where they've just played awfully horrible.
The genesis of this conversation was that Arkansas was getting ready to go to the SEC tournament, and like we've seen countless times here, they had a fantastic record in Bud Walton Arena and a pretty pedestrian, if not abysmal, record on the road at times. And so, as we've seen this year, our road record's probably not fantastic in true road games, and we're also
It's 4-3. It's 4-3 in the SEC.
Not fantastic.
Hold on.
But
4
also in quad
4-4.
in these big matchups that we've had, these big quad 1 games, your record is also not very good. I believe it's like 1-7 or 1-6 right now. So not great. Now you're undefeated in quad 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4. You're doing great there. But this is kind of the same thing. Which team shows up in the SEC tournament and for the NCAA tournament? Obviously, we know what the weaknesses of this team are. So when they got beat by Florida on Saturday by almost 40 points, the talent gap was the biggest shock. But how they lost was not. The fact that they have a, less than talented front court compared to Florida and compared to the upper echelon of college basketball teams. So whenever I was listening to this the other day, I was thinking to myself, wow, we're having the exact same conversation. Which team is going to show up for the SEC tournament? Not the team as a whole. Which front court is going to show up for the NCAA and the SEC tournament? Coach Cal talked about it already. This team is built for March. You have a guy like Nick Pringle who is experienced in making a deep Final Four run. Does any of that come to fruition here? Do we see that same Nick Pringle during the tournament? You have guys that have been to the Sweet 16 and been to an Elite 8, Trevin Brazil. Do we see any of that experience, that extra drive, that extra ounce that you have to win these tournament games take over?
Man, you hope so. You kind of talked to Seth and Rogers, asked the question, what front court, question mark,
Yeah.
Here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You alluded to what Cal said about March last night. I'm just going to play this clip.
And I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 games. When will we know whether we win or lose those games? When the game ends. So I don't know. But here's what I do know. This team is prepared for March, and they're built for March. They bonded, would you say? They've also, have they gotten better? So when you look at a team that's bonded, they've come together, and here they are, they've gotten better. How about this? Are we athletic? How about are we skilled? How do you know we're skilled? We only have low turnovers. You know you're skilled. How about a will to win, make plays when you need to? Yeah, and we do. What am I telling you? Let's go. Let's play with unbelievable energy. Understand we're built for this now.
And to your point about the front court and what Arkansas has, you feel like, at least in my opinion, maybe I can't put everyone in this category, guard play, really good. I know that Darius has been hampered a little bit, and sounds like Malik is too. Wing play, Billy Richmond, 5 straight games of 20-plus points. TB at the 4. I know he didn't have a great game against Florida, but there's a lot of college basketball teams that would love Trevin Brazile on their team. And then that 5 spot, which has been inconsistent throughout the season. You're relying on a veteran presence in Nick Pringle, who's going to be a part of senior night tomorrow night. Malik Ewan, who has shown flashes of offensive brilliance. Loved him to shore up his defensive stuff a little bit. Every team going into March has weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of which ones are exploited. Yours got exploited Saturday night. Other teams are going to try and do the same thing. They just don't necessarily have the weapons that Florida does come 2 weeks from Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, that's right, Ty. And one more thing that you definitely can count as a strength for your team going into this, the postseason play and all the big things we're all going to be watching is the fact that you have Coach Cal, which is a big strength. And 20 years ago or 18 years ago when I pulled these clips from, Ty, what were we talking about with the coach?
Oh, we were talking about John Pelfrey.
When they introduced the starting lineups all year long, without question, the loudest applause has been for John Pelfrey. So this fan base clearly behind him.
Pretty crazy.
John Pelfrey, who recently was fired from Tennessee Tech today as we were on the air. So 18 years from now, 18 years later, we were having the same conversations. Which team's going to show up? Are you going to get the best out of your players? Well, it's different now because you've got some real thoroughbreds with Coach Cal. And when those guys show up, there's a lot of teams that would love to have your roster and the compliments that they have. And you can go out there and beat just about anybody on a given night, providing it's not Florida. But got to make you feel a little bit better going into March.
Which, if you remember, connection to Florida, you had Pelfrey, who was an assistant under Billy Donovan at one point. You also brought up in that time in 2008 that we just played, there were thoughts out there that Pelfrey was about to take over for Billy Gillespie.
I didn't put this conversation in there because, we had to be, some brevity here on the Morning Rush. But one of the things they were mentioning was Tommy's co-host said, well, how much longer is Pelfrey going to be here? Tommy's answer was, I think that is only decided by Kentucky coach Billy Gillespie. So we really thought that Pelfrey was going to stick here and he was going to become the next big thing until he pulled an Eddie Sutton and had to crawl to Kentucky because he was going to be the next big guy there. Turns out that's not how it worked at all.
At all. No, pretty wild about
at
that.
All.
Hey, speaking of March Madness, the Great American Basketball Conference Championships are here in Fort Smith, the 5th through the 8th at Fort Smith Northside High School. The best men's and women's teams in the GAC battled out for an automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC basketball tournaments, again, March 5th through the 8th, this Thursday through the weekend in Fort Smith at Fort Smith Northside High School, the GAC Great American Conference Basketball Championships right here in Fort Smith. Lewis Automotive Group Hotline is open for you at 877-377-6963. We were talking with Tom Murphy a little bit earlier about Swatters Club yesterday. DVH did enlighten the fans about just, recaps of what happened, the upcoming game, the series against Mississippi State, and some of the others. We played that clip of him joking about the SEC and Flow Sports. But he also was having some fun from a legality standpoint as well.
It's all legal, so we're not doing anything we're not supposed to do, or I wouldn't be talking about it, right?
He was talking about the guys going through weights and doing that back in the day. Obviously, you and I, based on how we look, we're experts in weight training and everything else. I'm gonna be honest, when we did weights in high school and middle school, I just kind of walked around and was talking to people. We had a regimen, we had our things we were supposed to do. And obviously, by the way I look, you can tell, man, this guy just started working
You're
out.
speaking to a kindred soul here, Ty. My dad was the coach, so he was up there. So I would take as many water breaks as I wanted, walk around, talk to people. You would never find my butt under that squat bar doing any type of weight. And obviously, it's paid off today. Yeah,
You're still you're at least in shape. It's your metabolism. At some point, it's going to go. But
yeah, you're looking forward to that day.
No, it's not that I'm looking forward to it. I'm just telling you, as someone that is currently going through it right now.
You have to stop at half the box of pizza right now, Ty. You can't do the full one.
Yeah, well, now I ate a full pizza on Sunday, the full thing. Makes me want to take advantage of those Cardinals.
Canadian bacon. It's Canadian Bacon Day.
It's Canadian Bacon Day, and it's National Cold Cuts Day.
Get some cold cuts.
Yeah, cold cuts are good. That had me, honestly, you leading me down there, had me thinking, hey, what is better, a hot sandwich or a cold sandwich? And I'm of the belief it's a hot sandwich.
I don't know.
An Italian's really good, but I'm still taking the hot sandwich.
You get a good cold sub sandwich, it's really, really hard to beat that. But even when I go to places that, like not Subway, but other places like that, I do often ask to get it toasted. It's just better that way. I like the melty cheese.
It caramelizes, it mixes up as it's supposed to be. That's
great word.
That's a good word. I find it in you don't have to even put a clip of the Morning Rush open tomorrow. So, by the way, hey, just a reminder, Tommy is in Washington, D.C. these next few days. He's going to be back with the show on Friday. So, just want to remind everyone of that.
Prepare everybody.
Yeah, prepare everybody for the onslaught that's coming with you and Zach.
We're just going to make sure
I'm
that
just
the
appreciative,
transmitter
Zach.
stays on.
Listen, I've jumped on their show a few times when Derek or Zach has been out of town, so I appreciate the return, the reciprocal of sorts.
He drew the short straw,
for
so it's his cross to bear.
Okay. Well, we got to hit a break because we're running up against it. We got our CJ's Trivia Tuesday coming up. Let me tell you first about Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202 for an awesome place you can experience at Gaston's. My parents go. We've had Morning Rush listeners go. I've gone. It's an awesome time. If I can catch fish, you can catch fish. Gastons.com. Go to their Facebook page. They've got videos. They've got pictures. They've got it all at Gaston's White River Resort. You can eat at the restaurant, or you can cook in your own cabin, which is perfect because you can kind of do your own thing, or you can mingle, whatever you feel like doing. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
It's all legal, so we're not doing anything we're not supposed to do. Or I wouldn't be talking about it, right?
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux value menu, 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
It's back, the ultimate challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 600 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP, payments starting at $199 a month, or 0% financing on select models. Find the ultimate savings, the ultimate selection, and the ultimate trade value. Only at Lewis Automotive's Ultimate Challenge.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH25 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
March Madness lives at MyBookie. All day, it's college hoops. Roll your winnings straight into blackjack, slots, roulette. Same account, same balance, no reset. This is the month where bankrolls are built. Head to mybookie.ag. Use promo code HOGS, HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. The madness only comes once a year. Bet it smart. Bet it big. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the bet back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple of burgers?
Those are good burgers, brother.
How's your burger? My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll...
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
If you were listening intently earlier, you would have heard the answer to the question. So as we embark on another CJ's Trivia Tuesday, let's get into it. When Arkansas won it all in 1994, where did they play their first March Madness game? We've got plenty of time, so you can call us at 877-377-6963. I don't need the arena because I don't even know what it is. I just know the city. 877-377-6963 on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What is the answer for a $25 gift card to both CJ's in Russellville and in Fayetteville? By the way, they have got a new caramel apple shake in Fayetteville that I had for the first time last week, and it is magnificent. It might be the best shake I've ever had. So if you've got a kiddo or you've got a sweet tooth, you need to go try it. Like their burgers and fries and fry sauce is always nails, but Keith just keeps on trying to make things better, and he did. Who we got?
We got Darren from
All right.
Cedarville this morning.
All right, Darren. What is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question?
Oak City.
Oklahoma City.
Boy.
Where Arkansas could wind up for the first round of this NCAA tournament if things shake out. Appreciate it, Darren. Appreciate it.
Darren, hang on. I'll get your information in just a second.
Yep. Seth and others got it right. Doc, it was not Shreveport. Oklahoma City.
I misread the question this morning. I thought you asked who did they play in the first round match.
Do you know who?
I was ready to say the North Carolina A&T
Yeah,
Bulldogs.
I was going to say, North Carolina A&T, but that's a site.
Oklahoma
Now,
City. Be nice to get back there. Be
Dallas
nice to get
is
back there.
not a regional site, which would have been cool to line it up.
Yeah.
And they played in Charlotte. The Final Four's in Indianapolis. But again, I'm just trying to connect the dots on some things.
Do you have hotel rooms booked? Are you have flights ready to go? Are
No,
you pointed in every direction?
I mean,
ready
I've
to go?
got it on my map or my planner. Final Four, Sweet 16 later. I think at this point, like if you said Ty, you've got money to bet on the Oaklawn Sports app to where Arkansas ends up. I would say that they are probably going to make it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But not necessarily beyond that. Back-to-back Sweet 16s for a lot of coaches is awesome.
Yep. It's a career for
I-
some.
I'd be curious to see the reception. I hope we don't have to see it. I hope they go farther than that. But I'm curious to see the reception from Arkansas fans. Second weekend again, it's not easy to do, much less just winning the game in the NCAA tournament. I mentioned the Oaklawn Sports app, the Arkansas's best sports betting app. I know football's over, but man, this is the best time of betting. March Madness, baby. We've got SEC tournaments. We've got small conference tournaments. We've got it all on the Oaklawn Sports app, plus other sports as well. You can bet on anything. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets, a 10% profit boost for new and existing customers on qualifying 3-leg parlays and same game parlays as well. You can fund your account with ACH, debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, and on-site cash at the Oaklawn Sportsbook. Bet with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
What time are you leaving today? When are you getting out of here? You get on the road?
Flight's at 5 a.m. in the morning, so I'm actually
God.
I've got a 1 a.m. alarm, so I know I've got work until about 4:30 today.
You're going to be asleep by 5:30 then.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't figured that out tonight, so that's the setup for tomorrow.
You got your bags packed. You ready to go?
I do
You
have my
pre-checked,
bags
you
packed.
good?
I do. Speaking of setup, the setup is as following: Matt Jones, Phil Elson, Big C. Halftime's coming up next, followed by Ruskin and Zach. For Cold and Little, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to